Hello everyone. Today we have with us Mr. Nitin Thakker. He is an esteemed legal expert, leads the Bombay Bar Association as the president, championing justice and excellence in the legal profession with dedication and unwavering commitment. Let's deep dive into his work on the topic. I am Saimik Sen and you're watching Mind Speak on Herald Global. First of all, good afternoon, Mr. Thakker. Thank you so much that you took out
Good
this time for
afternoon.
us. Welcome to Herald Global.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so let me begin by asking you what inspired you to pursue a career in law?
I was fortunate enough to have father who was in this profession. And looking at him at home when he was working very hard, preparing for his matters. And he was a first generation lawyer in his family.
Sure.
His grandfather never wanted him to study further.
Okay.
We had a provision store in a village, Anjar, is now town, in Kutch. So I thought that he has achieved so much in life because he was a judge of city civil court, thereafter
Okay.
briefly was a judge in high court. So it was a natural progression for me that I was inspired by him, frankly, so that I could take up law.
Okay. So can you tell us about your journey to becoming the president of Bombay Bar Association?
I joined bar on 3rd July 1968
Okay.
on original side of Bombay High Court. So I have practiced as a counsel on original side. And during all the members, all the lawyers who practice on original side become a member of Bombay Bar Association.
Sure.
So during Bombay Bar Association has been one of the oldest bar association in the country. During several times, for example, when we had some judges of Bombay High Court who were, we would say, not up to their, were not maintaining the ethical standards.
Okay.
So Bombay Bar Association at that time took up the resolutions against them. And I was part of all these activities happening. I've seen them. And then I realized that I should now also, after attaining some seniority, become a member of the standing committee of the association. So first, I became a member of a standing committee.
Yes.
And 10 years ago, I first contested as a vice president of the Bombay Bar Association.
Okay.
So for 6 years, it's two terms of the a 3-year term. So total 2 terms, I was a vice president. And thereafter, I am now president of association. My first term as a president was over. So beginning of this year, we had an election and it was my second term. I was elected as a president of Bombay Bar Association.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So the kind of long tenure that you have spent with Bombay Bar Association, if I ask you what are some of the concerns that you're facing?
Nowadays, the major concern which we are facing is delay in disposal of cases. Because there is a prime concern not only of lawyers but also litigants. Because person comes to for advice to us and he first question he asks is when will my matter be decided?
Hmm.
And we don't give any guarantee because it's not possible. If it is a civil dispute, I don't know for how many years. For writ petition, yes, maybe soon, sometimes at a initial stage itself, the matter can get disposed of. You may get a relief. But really, this is a great concern of ours that we are not able to dispose of matters. And as a member of the bar, one feels that, and particularly as a president of the association, we are trying to brainstorm among ourselves now to what suggestions we should make to the High Court Chief Justice and other judges so that we can speed up disposal of cases. One of the reasons why they are facing difficulty is that they are, in that sense, not to working at the full capacity,
Okay.
full sanction strength. Supreme Court today has its full sanction strength of 34, but Bombay High Court probably has a sanction strength of 93 or 95. And today we do not even have 62 judges we have, of which two will go as a Chief Justice very shortly. No
Okay.
sooner government makes an announcement, which is very imminent. It may happen tomorrow or it may happen by Monday, Tuesday. It will happen. So we will be effectively at 59 or 60
Okay.
from next week. And this is between four benches. It is Bombay, Nagpur, Aurangabad, and Goa.
Okay.
Bombay High Court has four benches, and so they are really, really, in that sense, undermanned.
Okay. So I wanted to ask you on the prolonged delays of justice, what is happening right now. So, like out of the box, any suggestion that you thought of which you will put across to the board?
Yeah. See, to dispose of commercial matters, either there should parties must go for alternate dispute resolution in
Okay.
terms of either a mediation or an arbitration. See, parties are now finding that arbitrations have become very expensive.
Hmm.
But the high courts have now framed rules where the maximum fees of the arbitrators are fixed.
Okay.
So, to my mind, this fear of the parties having required to spend more money than the probably claim should not be there now.
Okay. Okay. That's really nice.
Yeah. To have a mediation, to have arbitration, cooperation of parties is very necessary.
Definitely.
Nowadays, the parties who is a paying party ultimately, he knows that I have to pay some monies to the other side. He will try to not go for alternate dispute resolution. So okay, let us wait, let that party be tired, and then I will settle at the amount which I want to pay.
Okay. So, in your this last two terms as a president, did you can you tell us about some of the initiatives that you have implemented?
So I will tell you what we have done. In
Sure.
our first term, we have come up with a podcast series where one senior advocate or one advocate has taken interview of some past judges of our High Court, Supreme Court, and Chief Justices who have been member of our High Court, our Bar Association. So, for example, we have taken interviews of Mrs. Justice Sujata Manohar, Justice B.N. Sri Krishna, Justice Rohington Nariman,
Okay.
Chief Justice Shyavak Wajibdar, Chief Justice R.D. Dhanuka, Justice Shahrukh Kathawala, Justice Suresh Gupte. And then we have taken interviews of two advocate generals, former Advocate General Mr. Ravi Kadam
Sure.
and present Advocate General Dr. Birendra Saraf. So all these people have been interviewed and their podcasts are now available on a YouTube channel of Bombay Bar Association.
Okay.
And each podcast is worth listening to. It gives great insight into the times when these gentlemen practice as lawyers and the message they give out for the youngsters. So they are really inspirational and very good. So this was a series which we did in my first term as a president. Secondly, for young lawyers, we have started advocacy training course.
Okay.
There is an international organization of advocacy training,
Okay.
which is headquarters in Hong Kong. And the training faculty consists of senior lawyers from Australia, Hong Kong, Malaysia,
Okay.
Singapore, South Africa, UK. And from some of the jurisdiction, there are some sitting judges or retired judges of High Court and Supreme Court.
Okay.
So for the first batch of our faculty of Bombay lawyers, they train our lawyers during COVID times online.
Okay.
And it was so successful that today we have got the 60 lawyers from Bombay Bar Association who are trained by these people. Now, in our turn, we are now training young lawyers who have 5 years of practice. That's a limit we have just now kept. And these lawyers are trained in the art of advocacy, how to cross examine a witness, what to ask, what not to ask, and how to argue your case. So these two
Sure.
things are being taught. And I can share with you our sixth course in
Okay.
the series is being conducted next week, next weekend. It is going to happen. Tomorrow it will be inaugurated by Justice Kulkarni from Bombay High Court.
Okay.
And next weekend, and High Court is giving us tremendous support in doing that. For to have this actual feel of the courtroom, High Court is making available the courtrooms for us to have this trial,
Okay.
advocacy course being conducted.
That's really amazing.
Thirdly, we amended our rules in my last term.
Okay.
And while amending the rules, we have provided assurance to female lawyers on the committee.
Okay.
There would be at least 5 female lawyers on the committee. So, which is almost 25%
Okay.
of the total strength. Because the earlier what used to happen, the female lawyers in last 4 elections were 3021. So only in one committee there were only three, in one committee there was no one, in one
Okay.
committee there were only two. So over the last 12 years, this was the situation. So we thought it that we must have more participation from female lawyers. And
Sure.
to give them an assurance, we amended rules in such a manner that at least there will be five, minimum five.
Okay.
And on an open category, they may come more. So virtually today we have 6 female members on our committee of Bombay Bar Association.
Okay. Okay. So, what is your take on the newly implemented criminal laws? I mean, what we have been hearing is there's been a lot of confusion which has been created amongst the lawyers regarding the laws. So, what is your take on it?
See, as such, I don't practice criminal law, but I take my personal view is
Sure.
that when there are laws passed, you may not agree that by why should that be why what was the need of passing a new law, etc. They could have amended the existing law for whatever reason they have amended. This is the amended law. We as a lawyers, we are bound to advise our clients as per law, whichever law is available, whichever law is enforceable. Because whenever a new law is enacted, there may be some teething trouble. There may be something wrong. But we have a high courts, we have Supreme Court. They will interpret the law. We should have full trust and faith in our courts. If any part of any law is not good or is not advantageous for a citizen, then of course it will be challenged. And if it will be challenged, it will be decided by the courts whether it is right, wrong, what needs to be done, corrected. Courts have sometimes interpreted some laws in a manner which is way to take it forward. They have read down some strict provisions of law. So it will be done whenever there is a challenge to it. To my mind, to create protest, to create people should not politicize. That's
Sure.
my view of the matter.
Okay. How does Bombay Bar Association support young lawyers in terms of settling down, in terms of getting incorporated?
Yeah. See, most of our members encourage students to come as an interns, because most of the colleges now have this system of sending their students for internship among the lawyers.
Sure.
So all our members have taken uh, the steps to have the interns in their office. Now, as far as young lawyers are concerned, it depends on a lawyer, because most of the lawyers, after getting out of the college, they want a steady fixed income.
Yes.
They would like to join a firm of attorneys where they will have a fixed secured income, and most of them go that way. After some time, they decide to become a counsel.
Okay.
Bombay Bar Association essentially is a body of lawyers of counsel. But in early 70s or late 70s, I believe when Mr. Antule was chief minister, this difference between attorneys and counsel in that sense is not on paper officially. But in practice, it still persists that some, like myself, I practice only as a counsel.
Hmm.
There are so many like me. So there are very few lawyers who turn after joining a profession. After a while, they try to become a counsel. From the beginning, very rare that a lawyer would think of becoming a counsel.
Okay.
So whenever there are some youngsters, they approach us, our members, to take them as a junior of theirs. So they get a placement as a junior in the chambers. And this is how they get trained.
Okay. You are a veteran in the legal system and you have been there for a very long time, a very senior lawyer. So my question to you, apart from prolonged delay, what are the other challenges of Indian legal system?
There are this appointment of judges is very important and challenging
Okay.
thing,
Okay.
because you will find not only here in High Court, but now they have created a lot of parallel tribunals where earlier the jurisdiction was with the High Court. For
Sure.
example, for company matters, earlier jurisdiction was with High Court. Now that jurisdiction is with the company law board earlier, and thereafter today it is NCLT, company
Yes.
law tribunals, national company law tribunals. Similarly, there are bank matters. Earlier they were taken up in High Court. Now all the bank matters have gone to debt recovery tribunal. They have
Sure.
created these tribunals. Now all these tribunals they have created, but whenever there are vacancies arising in these tribunals,
Sure.
they have to fill up. Now, ideally, they are required to start the process of filling up a vacancy. They know it because, for example, in debt recovery tribunal, they appoint a presiding officer or a appellate tribunal chairperson for a fixed period,
Okay.
depending on their age, etc. They know what is their date of retirement going to be. So instead of starting the process well in advance, somehow or the other, the process doesn't start. Now, today in Bombay city, there is no presiding officer of debt recovery tribunal
Okay.
for over a month now. We do not know when it will be appointed. So either the litigants have to go to Vashi, who has been given a charge, or sometimes the Vashi gentleman is on leave, then you have to go to Aurangabad or Pune. So it is very
Okay.
difficult for litigant. And those people will, those presiding officers also will take up matters if they're extremely urgent. If the matters are not urgent, okay, you wait. Everywhere thereafter, the matters pile up
Hmm.
and there are no disposals. So these are challenges. Wherever there are vacancies, you must fill up 6 months before you start the process. That's a requirement. Still, they
Sure.
will not do.
Okay, so what are your future plans and vision for Bombay Bar Association?
Bombay Bar Association is well known for standing up on issues affecting lawyers, affecting judiciary, and I want to continue to remain focused on those issues. We must take leadership in sometimes deciding those, in helping the judicial forum in deciding those issues. Now, major challenge just now which is being faced by Bombay High Court is regarding its building.
Okay,
Government has very graciously allotted some 30 acres in Bandra area, but no newspaper is reporting that those 30 acres are full of government buildings.
okay,
They are not likely to be vacated till March 2026. So what's the use of making such allotment?
so,
Government should be very proactive. I, today you say that Bombay High Court building requires is one more than one 25 years old building. This building requires, it cannot be repaired because it is a now heritage structure, and it is originally constructed for 7 or 8 courtrooms. Now
okay,
already it is running 40 courtrooms. So yeah, building has been used more than its capacity. But then government should be alive to this. That this is issue not for only state government. I feel that central government is equally responsible and should be aware of this.
so,
And central government must come forward and do something about this. So
okay,
this is the biggest challenge which I feel that our High Court is facing.
okay. My last question to you: what would be your word of advice to the young lawyers or the people who want to pursue their career in law?
I would tell everyone to remember 3 I's. First I is industry. Industry means work hard. You should be industrious. And unless you work hard, you will not reap the benefits.
So,
And in this profession, like any other profession, one has to work hard. The second I would be intellect. You should, of course, have intellect. Or intellect would also include logic. The profession of law is nothing but common sense and logic.
so,
So, in a very lighter vein, I always advise college students that always solve Sudokus. They're nothing
okay,
but extension of logic. It is pleasure as well as it keeps your mind sharp, and it would logically make you think logically. You should be analytical when you do anything, you do any matter. So second is intelligence, and which would include all these things. And third, integrity. In
okay,
this profession, integrity is a prime thing. You should always have your first duty towards court, and you should always be truthful and fair to court. It is responsibility of a lawyer that he is an officer of the court, and he should always be truthful to the court. It is your reputation with the court which is going to count ultimately. You should always be conducting yourself in a manner whereby court should have that much trust in you to accept your word.
okay.
And if your integrity is in doubt, no court will believe you, no court will accept your word. And that is not good for any young lawyer for that. So 3 I's, all juniors and seniors should always remember. This is my message in
It's
short.
applicable for everyone actually.
This is
Three
in
eyes.
short.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Thakkar. It was lovely talking to you. It was very insightful.
Thank you very much.